Frankie anymore. I hear a rumour she's going straight. In more ways than one.
Hey, Doreen.
Yeah?
Come outside for a sec. Got something to show you.
Oh.
Yeah.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again.
Hello again everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name's SerenitySoloReacts and today it is Soapy Sunday, so we're going into Prisoner Cell Block H episode 6. Now if you're watching on YouTube, these are the cut down versions of the videos. Patreon at the moment, they're coming out in like around the same time, but Patreon has got the videos up in full ad free, and if you're the highest tier you don't have to go on a weekly basis. You will get the episodes the very moment that they are processed on Dailymotion. So you don't have to do that, you can just carry on watching the cut down episodes, but if you could please like, comment and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm enjoying this series and I've never seen it before, so it's all quite new to me. I thought I had, but when I checked Wikipedia, it wasn't this show. I don't know what I'd seen. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, then let's get straight into it. So I hope the sound quality is okay. I did turn the gain down on the microphone to avoid the buzz.
Lynn.
I'm going to keep these going for Patreon members, but this bit will be cut out for YouTube.
You're going to have to start eating again.
No.
Now be sensible, you're on the verge of malnutrition.
I don't care.
Well, then you should care about the baby.
What baby?
Didn't know.
Didn't know you were pregnant?
I can't be. There's no one. No one.
Except?
Only that man.
What man?
I told you. He wouldn't believe me.
See, that's what
The
made
man
me...
who raped me. It's his baby.
When she said, I told you you wouldn't believe me, that's what made me think it might have something to do with the case. It can't have been the gardener. She tried to get him to
Get rid
help
of
her.
it.
You're 3 months pregnant, Lynn. It's too late for an abortion now, even if I agreed.
No, I don't want a baby. I don't want. Please help me. I'll kill it.
Meg.
I'll kill myself. You gotta get rid of it. Oh, I don't want to have a baby. Please help me get rid of it.
It's a different nurse, I just realised.
It's just a mild sedative. It'll help you sleep.
Oh, please, I don't want that animal's baby.
Yeah, he don't want to
Meg.
help the pill parade. He'll push the pill parade along, but he'll give
Why must I
injections
tell
out.
this girl hasn't been eating?
She was looking for attention.
That's not the point. It is your duty as officer in charge to report this sort of thing. I had you
Yeah,
forgotten.
that's true.
If I can't get this girl eating soon, then I'm going to have to force feed her. Do you realize what that involves?
Well, shouldn't you be telling her that?
Tubes.
By rights, I should report you to the governor.
Well, that's your prerogative. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Meg.
God, she's going to get herself sacked
She's
if
not
she
much
keeps
older
going up
than
like
your
this.
son.
Who is now without a father, if you remember.
Yes. I also remember an officer who used to have a little bit of human decency.
That's it, you pull her back in.
Will you turn
Put her
that
feet back
bloody
on
thing
the
off?
ground.
Is Lynn okay? She just fainted.
Oh, I reckon I'd die if I starved.
Sure would, Lizzie.
Rightio, who's next?
Oh, come on, that's us. Do you want anything at the bar?
No, thanks.
Don't forget the fags, Lizzie.
Get lost, Frankie.
Says who?
What's the matter? Didn't you get enough last time?
I don't know what's happened, it went slow there.
How's your little friend going? Getting sweet on her, huh? Or maybe you just like sucking up to the screw.
Why don't you?
I don't know what, sweetie.
See, I know when it's
Maybe
the
Lynn would
software
have
than
been all
when
right
it's
if you'd all just treated her like a human being.
She doesn't
the
deserve
show,
it.
because
But you,
I'm
I'll
watching it
treat
on
you any way you like.
DVD
Just
there.
give me the word.
You make me sick.
Oh, come across.
I told you to get lost, Frankie. And you can get to the soapbox too. Look, you're going to be tough to live in a place like this. And it's up to Lynn if she wants to make a go of it.
You're talking about surviving, aren't you? Not living. What would any of you know about living?
Do you reckon you're any different?
She's going back.
Mary Brooks. You have pleaded guilty to the charge of shoplifting. Before passing sentence, however, I feel it is my duty to explain the reason why I see
Her
fit
mum's gonna kill
to
her.
impose a severe sentence. Apart from breaking your parole, you've offered the court no explanation for having done so, nor, it would seem, was there any motive for your breaking the law. According to the arresting officer's statement, and that of your parole officer, you'd been taken in by your daughter and her family and given a good home. You left their care of your own free will and resorted back to a life of crime, without any thought of the hurt and suffering you would cause them. You were given every opportunity to lead a normal, respectable life. Therefore, it is the duty of this court to sentence you to a term of 3 years' imprisonment. It sees no reason why a parole period be specified during the term of your sentence.
That's what she wanted.
Thank you very much.
He thought he was given a harsh sentence. He gave her what she wanted.
The next case before the court is the Crown
Joke's on you.
Martin Walton.
Not you. Not you. Joke's on the judge. Yes, she saw everything. So is that where adverts were?
Come on, Lizzie. Lizzie, will you stop pushing or I'll send you to the end of the line?
Cheryl Brown.
Who'd waste their money on stuff like that?
No talking, Lizzie. Well, come on, you're holding everyone up.
Birdsworth, Elizabeth Josephine.
What's so funny about that?
Your friend Doyle hasn't shown up again. Frankie's such a heavy smoker. I wonder how she manages.
Maybe she's knocked off.
You're stupid, Birdsworth.
What's she saving the money for then?
Well, I'm glad I'm not in with Frankie anymore. Bea doesn't expect payoffs.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give her anything else.
She'll kill you.
Not if I tell her old Bennett stopped me buy-ups because we gave the lip.
Good luck.
Is she going to believe it
You're
though?
gonna need it.
I mean, all she has to do is catch away a crafty cigarette and then she's stuffed. All she has to do is look in there and she's stuffed. Oh, she's stuffed.
Holding out on me, Lizzie. No, Frankie. It's just that there are too many sneak thieves around. Oh, yeah, sure there are. Did you get my fags? No. And even if I had, I wouldn't give you any.
Go on,
you
tell
get your
her.
own stuff. Now, is that any way to talk, Lizzie? Who'll look after you if I don't? I don't need anyone to look after me.
She's not looking after anybody.
What are you saving up for? Your old age? You should be worried about your old age, Lizzie. Old bones take a long time to heal.
What are you doing in here, Doyle?
You heard that threat?
Bill just went, finished work.
Must have flown to get here so fast.
That's me, Swifty.
You can actually put him in solitary for that. You heard it, Meg.
See you later, Lizzie.
Anything wrong, Lizzie?
No, Mrs. Jackson.
She must have... Well, she did hear that threat. She was in the cell. She could have done something about it. It's fair she hasn't finished that bottle by now. It's fair she's not dead from it by now.
Hey.
G'day.
Hey, I've got something to tell you.
Well, it's good news, I hope.
Well, you could call it that.
Well, g'day. Listen, it's getting a bit crowded in here. Why don't we go over to the parlour?
Oh.
What you what they say about electricians.
What do they say?
Always blowing a girl's fuse.
What are you doing?
I'm knitting booties for Rosie's baby. And then I'm going to knit a jumper for Teddy.
Do you know how to knit?
Oh, it can't be that hard.
I'm sorry if this episode's a bit jerky. I don't know what's happening. It is jerky on the TV as well.
Oh, geez, turned into a real little lady, aren't you? G'day, darling.
So the parlour
Beautiful,
is
you know
the
that?
broom cupboard.
So what's your news? What's that?
It's the pill, silly. I had to bribe an officer to get it. At least we'll be safe for the next month.
Well, are you sure that'll be all right? I mean...
Oh, she got the
Yeah,
pill. I
I've
thought
been
it were
taking it for
condoms.
years when I was on the game.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to hear about
Well,
that.
Eddie, you know that's why I'm in here. It was just a job. But you're not, Eddie.
Yeah, but you don't tell a love interest like, about the game. And even if he
Anyone
knows
seen
it's
Marilyn
something
Mason?
that should stay
Well?
unspoken.
Where's that electrician? Electrician? Oh, I haven't seen any electrician. Anyone else seen one?
Here. Why don't you rip pictures out of someone else's magazine for a change?
What do you mean you're
exactly what I want.
So she's willing to put herself in solitary for her.
Quick, Vera! Stay there.
Get out of my way! Get out of my way!
What's going on?
Where have you been?
To the loo.
You two? No television for 2 nights. The governor wants to see you.
How are they going to enforce that?
You didn't have to clonk me so hard, did you?
You got a few buttes in yourself.
I mean, no one's on
Well, look at here.
a watch, basically.
Thank you, Miss Bennett. You've been with us now for 6 months, haven't you, Marilyn?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
And not your first offence, either.
No, I did a short stretch last year.
For the same offence.
Well, it's not fair, Mrs. Davidson. The girls always get the book thrown at them. Well, never the customer.
Yes, well, I didn't call you in here to discuss the law. As you know, your parole is almost due. You are to be released in 2 days.
Oh,
Well,
that's
it's just...
quick.
Well, that's fantastic.
I hope I won't
Sadly,
see you
I'm a
back
bit
here
quiet
again.
at this
Oh,
episode.
no way.
It's
I
just
swore
I'm
to my
trying
mother I'd do no more porn movies.
And your other line of work?
Modelling.
trying to see if
Prostitution.
Oh, I'm not going down for that again.
it's recording okay.
All right, Marilyn, you can go.
I had your teacher on the phone, young
There she
lady,
is
and I had to
again.
tell her I didn't know where my own daughter was. She must have thought I was a complete and utter fool. Now, I demand to know where you've been.
I was in court.
In court?
I wanted to see my grandmother. She needed somebody there with her. You don't care what happens to her.
Not anymore, no.
She's your mother.
And I visited her for 14 years. 14 until I couldn't take it anymore. Oh, she's no good, darling.
Why? What's she ever done to you?
I don't want to discuss it.
Look, Mum, I've got a right to know.
You'll do as you're told and stay away from her.
She
She's
killed
out
your
of our lives for
granddad,
good,
but we
understand?
need to find out
No.
why.
I'm going to see her again.
And I'm sure it's
All
going to be
right.
something to do with compassion.
She killed your grandfather. Is that what you wanted to hear? She murdered him, and I'll never forgive her for that.
Don't leave it like that. We want to find out why. Bloody hell.
Don't keep her talking too long. Lynn, it's Meg Jackson. Do you want to talk about the baby?
Well, it's going to bring up some bad memories if she does.
Would it do any good to contact the father? Do you want to tell me about it? Perhaps I can help.
I told the truth at the trial.
So not only has she been falsely accused,
Nobody wanted to help then.
You could try me.
she's also been a victim of something else.
How long were you with the Bentleys?
God, she's had a hybrid life, hasn't she? She's only
Just
young.
2 days.
Were you enjoying it?
She was a bit strange. He seemed nice. I loved little Richie.
Yes.
The night before I left, Mrs. Bentley had gone away. And Mr. Bentley had just received a call from his airline.
Well, that can't be helped. 24 hours at least. All right.
What's the trouble?
Flight's been cancelled. Industrial dispute.
Mrs. Bentley wouldn't have gone to her mother's if she'd known.
She's been planning that trip for months. She's lucky to have you to look after Richie.
Well, I'm just about to put on some dinner.
What, she gone to her
Will you be
mother's?
staying in?
Why not? Give us a chance to get to know each other a bit better.
It was him. He
You're
did
quite
it.
fine, you know that? A beautiful girl, an excellent nursemaid, and now I discover you're a marvellous
So
cook.
Mrs. Bentley
My mother's a fantastic cook. And she
committed the
just believes every
crime
girl should learn when they get married.
get her out of the picture
An
and save
old-fashioned
him.
mother. I didn't know we still had them.
I think that's all they breed in the country.
And what about marriage, Lynn?
Look, this episode just
Is there a
teaches you
young man in
never
your
to
life?
trust anybody. Let this show.
Not really.
I don't believe that. I bet you've had dozens.
Well, I didn't think anything of it. I thought he was just being friendly. I remember he'd been drinking. He just put on a record.
Drink?
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Bentley.
Look. Let's forget the Mr. business.
Problem is
Oh,
now it feels uncomfortable because we know what's coming up.
Not until we've had a dance together. Oh, come on, Lynn, relax. We're gonna have a lovely evening together.
Please, Mr. Bentley, you've been drinking.
Maybe that's what you need.
Mr. Bentley!
Come on, baby, listen up, eh?
I want to go to my room.
Don't say that.
Sure. Why not?
Have you locked your door? Have you got a lock on your door? You might need a lock on your door. Got ease a sleaze bag. And oh, she has got a lock on her door. And the wife's a nutcase. Could you wish for a happier couple?
Please, Mr. Bentley, go away.
Now, you're just being a silly little girl. Open the
Well,
door.
she's locked the door. Does it kick it open? There's another door. There's more characters I hate in the show than I like.
No, Mrs. Bentley.
Well, the growing, should I say.
Is that why you took the baby? Because Mr. Bentley raped you?
I didn't take Richie.
I did it. Oh, anyone.
Well, she's got a compassion back, and it looks like she's starting to believe her. But what can she do by herself?
Well, I'll be blowed. They're letting anybody out in the streets these days.
You'd know. They let you out.
Half your luck, but you deserve it.
She'll be
for
back.
what, one day?
Horse can never stay off their back for too long.
Put a sock in it, Doyle.
Come on, Eddie, don't take
Well, they
any
don't have to
notice.
sneak about anymore, but is that the last we're going to see of those two? No
Wish I was
spoilers in the
getting
chat,
out in 2
please.
days.
No, you'll be out before you know it.
My little girl turned 4 last week.
Yeah?
First birthday I've missed.
Oh, there'll be lots of others. You'll see.
She thinks I'm in hospital.
She's going to steal them.
Hey, how about some telly? Turn it on, will you?
Yeah.
Thought so. Oh. Excuse me.
Oh, what a shame.
God, if I was still smoking, I'd have been absolutely mental if she did that.
Well, at least we won't have to sneak around anymore.
You mean you'll still want to see me?
Well, that's a stupid thing to say. Of course I will.
But it'll be different on the outside, Eddie.
Yeah, thank God.
I've got a record.
So what? Well, listen, Marilyn, I've been doing a lot of thinking about you and me. And, like, I didn't want to say anything until I knew you were getting out, but... Well, I don't know how you feel about me, but... Well, I love you and I want to marry you.
Eddie.
They've known each other for,
no, not
what,
much
5 episodes?
Well, what do you say? If you need more time, well, that's okay. But I reckon you and me could make a real good go of it.
Oh, Eddie. Eddie, I can't. I'm sorry.
I've just noticed as well that they've took the bits out of the intro where they're hanging up the washing and getting off the bus.
Wants me to marry him.
Wow, fan-bloody-tastic. I didn't think you had it in you, kid.
She turned me down, P.
You what?
I can't.
They don't even know each other's personalities properly.
Run for your life, Meryl.
We've had some stolen moments.
Yeah, she's probably got someone on the outside anyway.
Well, she has. It's the best kept secret around.
Probably thinks I'm not good enough for her or something.
Oh.
Hey, what's wrong with Marilyn?
She just heard she's being released.
Oh, terrific. I wonder if they'll put Mum in with us.
Mum?
Yeah, she's back. She's sitting outside the governor's office now.
Have these people just got free rein to walk wherever they want
Why we
to?
shouldn't give Mum back her old room. Who's in there now?
Unless you've been to see the governor.
Well, move her into Doyle's dormitory. I think she should be safe from Frankie, don't you? Good.
I'd like to speak to you about Lynn Warner.
Of course.
You know she's pregnant. Well, she claims she was raped.
It was brought up at her trial.
And they thought she was lying?
No, she was raped, all right. Apparently by some of her bikie friends.
Well, she claims it was Mr. Bentley.
There's nothing to support her story. At the time she says she was raped, Mr. Bentley was staying at a friend's.
Why would she say it was him?
Well, the sentence could have been lighter. She could have pleaded she was unbalanced at the time of the abduction. I don't know.
She just sounded so convincing.
Not to the jury, she didn't.
I just thought there might be something in it.
But she's an innocent woman
Women to be brought back in here.
in a long-time drama.
You're different. But it seems I've been wrong about a lot of things lately.
I was so sorry to hear about your husband, Mrs. Jackson.
She'll probably
I tried
get
to phone
out.
you when I heard.
Yes, I know. You'll be moved in with Frankie Doyle. Collect your things after tea, please.
Sorry to kick you out.
Look at you, darling. Have fun.
It's good to be home.
Are your plants still there?
Just don't understand you people.
No, the other lady got that cell.
You had everything waiting for you at your daughter's, and you want to come back to this.
One thing I've learned being in here, Mrs. Jackson, it isn't always the cons who end up bitter.
I'm not interested in your opinions. Why did you want to come back?
Because no one loved her on the
15 years I
outside. At
belong.
least they looked after her
Rubbish.
plants.
What about your family?
They hated her.
All those
Well,
years, the one thing
daughter
I really
did.
ever thought about was being with my family, but how do you get back 15 years? My grandchildren grew up without me. It's as simple as that.
Doesn't mean they don't need you.
I need them more. My granddaughter was in court. She sat there through all that. I lost her before I even got to know her.
But you could have tried.
No, she wants to come
I
and
was a
see you. Well, might have
stranger.
lost her now. She found out she killed her
Anyway, who
grandfather.
wants a silly old woman? They've got their own lives. I was 15 years too late.
It's never too late, love.
Well, since you are back, there's something useful I want you to do for me. Remember Lynn Warner?
The one who took over the garden?
Yes. Well, I want you to find out more about her.
Tried to
I
dig
don't
it up.
slag on the girls, you know that.
I'm not asking you to. You know she claims she was innocent. Well, I
Yeah,
just
it's
want
still
your
called
opinion on
lagging
whether
this.
she's telling the truth or not.
The longer you've been here, the harder it is
I
to
wondered
tell.
that.
Mum, I need your help.
When I last used the word lag, I thought, is that the correct
Oh, you're not going
term?
to throw that away, are you? You spent ages making it. Well, I hate it now. Oh, Bea, isn't this the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen?
I was checking the pictures, make sure that it had no naughty parts on.
Look, have you got rocks in your head?
I don't want to talk about it, Bea.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do when you get out, huh?
Oh, get a job.
Oh, sure you will. Doing what? What other qualifications have you got apart from lying on your back?
Look, Bea, I'll get a job. It's just too soon, that's all. Okay, you may feel one way when you're inside, but when you get out, it's different. And you know it, and Eddie will too, only he won't admit it. Oh, I think he's nice.
Shut up. Look, I know enough about men to know that boy would never hurt you.
Yeah, but I may hurt him. I've been inside before, B, and I know what it's like getting out. You can't get a job, you meet some of your old cronies.
Yeah, you want to live high on the hog.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing, if you're prepared to pay for it. And you know what that means.
If she goes back on the game, she's going to lose Eddie.
You're going to end up back in here. Just like me and Mum.
Yeah, but you both chose to. Well, mind you, if she goes back on the game, she's basically choosing to as well, isn't she? A quick cut.
Mum, what are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I was arrested for shoplifting. I hear you're expecting a baby.
So did she just walk in there, ask to try the thing, and then walk out?
Please, can you get me something to get rid of it?
Oh, I can't do that, dear. I'm sorry we
Get some
didn't get to
surgical
know each other
spinach.
better before I left, but maybe we can make up for that, huh? Now, let's see, the last time we spoke, you were saying something about being innocent. And that hasn't changed. Looks like we've got a bit of a problem then, doesn't it? Why wouldn't the police believe your story, Lynn?
Because everyone else kept telling lies.
Was what you told Mrs. Jackson the truth?
So did the gardener lie?
You didn't tell her what you did after Mr. Bentley attacked you?
I left straight away. I was going to catch a bus straight home, but at the station
I've got no
I phoned
idea
Mrs.
what
Bentley
tests
and
they
told
had
her
back
what her
then.
husband had done.
I don't think DNA tested a thing back
Well,
then.
then the police came and arrested me. They took me back to the Bentleys. They didn't even tell me why.
Don't go with the constable, Larry.
Are you arresting me?
No, we just want you to show us the grounds.
Did he know then that Mrs. Bentley buried the baby?
Detective Senior Sergeant Thomas. You know why we brought you back here?
Length could have just sacked her.
Why did you leave so suddenly, Miss Warner?
I wanted to go home.
Now, after being here 2 days. Now, come now, Miss Warner. Wasn't it because Mrs. Bentley fired you?
No.
What happened here last night? Mrs. Bentley said she came home and found you'd been entertaining a few visitors. Bikies, apparently.
No, that's not true.
God,
Now,
they made up
where's
the
the
story
baby?
well.
Richie?
Where is he?
Oh, he's in his room. I left
Now, we
him there.
both know he's not in his room, Miss Warner. Now, what have you done with him?
Nothing, he is. Mr. Bentley, he'll know where he is.
Mr. Bentley's on his way to Singapore.
He was here last night.
We have witnesses to say he was with friends.
He wasn't, he was here.
All right, Miss Warner, all right.
The blue light you saw was from the lights of the studio, so
You rang Mrs.
nothing to
Bentley
do with
this
me.
morning from the bus station. What did you say to her?
That I was sorry I walked out on him.
Now, didn't you say you'd put the baby away somewhere to teach her a lesson for firing you? Isn't that
God,
what you
it's
said?
so elaborate. Bloody hell.
They
See why she's so distressed.
Richie in the garden. He was buried in a box. An air hose thing kept him alive.
Oh, I'm going to say how long were they there? Well, still, he needed feeding. No hearing crying.
Mum, do you believe me?
Is there anyone who can back up your story?
It's a bit sick,
Larry
though,
knew
doing
I
something
didn't
like
have
that.
any pikey friends. He didn't say anything at the trial. And he's gone away now.
He hasn't, love. They lied. Well, Mrs. Bentley
Try and
lied.
get a good night's sleep. All right.
Oh, poor Lynn. She's really getting it in the ringer, isn't she? Could you put up with that? Could you put up with that snoring?
What? If you don't cut out that racket, I'll knock your flaming block off.
God, it sounds like my partner.
What are you gawking at?
She's going to find a stash. Oh, teeth. She's going to nick her teeth. Should have placed a hand in the water as well.
You pinched my teeth, you lousy bitch!
You see what happens when I'm not around to look after you?
You took
She's a scarpered.
Now give him back!
You gotta learn, Lizzie. No one holds out on Frankie. You're gonna wind up like that idiot who wouldn't eat. Except you won't be able to eat.
B's gonna knock 7 L's out of her. That wasn't laughing because I thought it was funny.
It's not like her to miss out on a feed.
She's going on a diet.
I see Frankie hasn't changed.
Yeah, she's got a chip on her shoulder. She's got a bloody log. Seems like Lizzie's changed her mind, Frankie.
Don't you be able to eat toast, love? Is it toast? Yeah.
Here, wrap your gums around that, Lizzie. And don't say don't look after you.
Lizzie, did you break your teeth or something?
Built up, Doreen.
Tell them. Just tell them that Frankie... Oh, bit my lip. Frankie stole them.
Lousy tricks.
Oh, they know.
You're a rotten fat cow. You call me names and you wind up...
Oh, you just pull over there. Any more trouble and I'll report you two to the governor.
Thought Frankie were going to lose a temper there. Oh, hey, you bitch. Oh.
All right. You can have your smokes.
I've just doubled the rate.
B, why don't you step in and do something, bloody hell? I mean, if I were B, I'd have pinned her up against the wall. If I was B, I wouldn't be able to do this himself. Pin her up against the wall and just search her.
Morning, Greg. Can you spare a moment?
Sure. Social call, I hope.
No, it's Mother. She had a bad night last night, and I said I'd speak to you and arrange an appointment.
Well, I'll call over this evening if you like.
Oh, she's getting worse, Greg. I don't know what to do anymore.
You could consider putting her into a nursing home.
She wouldn't go.
Have you asked her?
No. No, I couldn't do that.
You're looking a bit run down yourself, you know. You've not been working too hard, I hope.
Oh, what choice have I got? We're an officer short, and well,
he has to deal with the bloody prisoners. He has to deal with the staff.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Come in, Mum.
It's got its own practice as well.
I just wanted to check if it's all right for me to go and see Lynn.
Sure, go right ahead.
Thanks.
No, and then there's Mother. Well, it's not that I'm complaining. Well, you know what it's like.
Yeah, I'm complaining.
It's beautiful.
The gardens never look better, thanks to you. Bit of a green thumb, huh?
Oh, my mother used to love gardening.
Oh, she turned the ground up for you, especially in one little spot.
Did you really kill someone?
Yes, dear.
But why?
That's history now, and that's where it belongs, in the past.
Do you have any children?
I want to know what she did.
A lovely daughter. And she's got children of her own now. There's Judith
what she
Ann,
did.
she's 16, and Andrew, he's 8. And little Benjamin, just a baby.
I don't want to have children.
You'll change your mind when it comes along. You see, there's nothing more precious than your own child.
Yeah, when it's consented.
You know, the baby's half yours as well. If you did anything stupid, you'd kill half
still
of yourself.
love it otherwise.
Did you love your husband?
Yes, very much.
I'll never get married.
Maybe one day.
Oh, how? In here?
What if people start believing your story?
They won't.
Yeah, what if?
I do.
No. Oh. Not,
We're debating against
when,
King's Grammar today.
What if?
Oh, good. Parents are invited. It's at 4 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry, Matty. I wish I could come. But it's your day off. Yes, I know, but I've got to go out. Something to do with the prison, isn't it? Yes. And it's important, Marty, really. Otherwise, I'd come.
Oh, she's going to look into
Doesn't matter.
Lynn's story.
Well, next time, all right?
But she could have put it off
See you later.
for him.
Bye, darling.
And it's a son.
Marty?
He's going to feel not cared about.
Luck.
It seems like now all he wants is a bit of attention, but she's giving it all to
Eddie!
the people in there.
Eddie!
Eddie ain't coming in.
Do you want to go up still, love?
I heard him, Bea. I know I'll never see him again. I just know.
Eddie's not the one to run out on him.
Hey, do you think this dress does anything for me?
No.
Oh, very sexy. Lizzie's only being my dressmaker's dummy.
Gummy's more like.
Go with the bed
brainless and
shoes.
toothless.
Oh, don't take any notice of her.
I'm not worried.
I'm getting out of here soon.
What do you mean?
Escaping?
Coming with me? No. I've got nowhere to go.
Not a shit, I say.
Frankie Doyle?
Yeah.
You got a visitor.
Well, it seems like she don't get many visitors.
How you
Oh, I'm
going,
going to say
sis?
it's probably a solicitor or a copper.
G'day, Squirt!
But it's a brother. She's never mentioned any brothers.
Just look at you. Talk about skinny gutted, don't they feed you in that place? Not in home anymore, Frankie. Left yesterday. I'd have come to see you then, but it's a bit late.
How'd they treat you, Gazza?
Oh, it's a bit of a
you
cheeky
know,
jacket.
okay, for an orphanage. Worst part was not being allowed to see you. She didn't miss much.
Orphanage? She must be about, what, 20?
What are you doing?
Got a job in the supermarket. Just lifting and cleaning. But I ain't start till I get some bread together.
Where are you living? And who's taking care of you?
She's living in an
sis, I'm
orphanage.
16, you know.
Little
Got a
orphan
room
Annie.
in a house. Sharing with a couple of blokes and a girl.
Yeah, well, you just keep your nose clean. If any of them give you any trouble, you let me know, all right?
What the hell are you supposed to do from there?
Hey, look familiar?
Geez, you'll have to grow up a bit before you fit into that, Gazza.
You don't care?
Nah. What would I do with it round here? Except scare a few screws.
Hey,
It's
remember when
annoyingly
you got it?
creepy as hell.
That's what got me
Creepy.
back.
Cheeky.
She was a beaut.
Hey, how about when we took it for that burn up to Lilydale and we stopped and got them hamburgers?
Isn't that tough enough big to fight me and you clobbered him?
Yeah, nobody
There's a
shakes
sign
down
up
the door
there
and gets
saying
away
no
with it.
smoking. And she's just rolled a cig.
But you're pretty important in here, Frankie.
Oh, yeah, reckon?
What's she smoking a cig? Screw? She's going to think she's got a fella on the go.
Probably never seen such a good-looking bloke.
What'd she look like?
Well? Come on, give.
You'll never guess. Not in a million years.
Yeah, that's how long you'll be dead if
They're
you
going to
don't
think
tell
it's
us.
a fella, boyfriend.
It's a bloke. Frankie's got a bloke.
Nah, you gotta be kidding.
It's true. Honest. He's pretty young, but you should have seen the way
That's
they were
Scout's
laughing
honour.
and carrying on.
Well, I'll be blown.
Marilyn Mason, you got a visitor. Well, go on, get on with your work. And Lizzie, take that ludicrous dress off.
Yeah, well, I suppose it is a bit bright.
I don't think it suits her whatsoever.
Hey, that's private.
She probably thinks it's an escape plan or something.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, what do you reckon?
I was going to say, is it an escape plan?
It's a place I want to build.
Why not?
In the country.
The country?
Well, you always said you liked open spaces.
So what?
So, for when you get out.
Oh, God, I'll be pushing up daisies by the time I get out of this place.
You will not. Now, look, I've got it all figured. And I've saved a bit in the supermarket. I'll get a job on a
I don't
farm.
think it's
Work
told
for
you
a few years,
how long
get a bit
she's
of land,
got.
build that. You'll be out by the time it's finished.
You've got rocks in your head.
Says who?
Says me. Can you see me in the country? Frankie Doyle bringing in the cows.
And what's wrong with that?
And what would you know about farming anyhow?
I can learn.
She won't be
You can
hurting
learn
them.
for a change
She'll be
either.
chasing them with a shotgun.
I wouldn't have had to spend all those years in the factory sweating if it hadn't been for you hanging around my neck.
They come up then, love. God, they make up fast.
Me too, Gazza. Me too.
She's the most lax security guard.
Well, that's my real name, but I hate it.
No
So everyone
smoking.
calls
She
me
smoked
Marilyn.
fag. A
Oh,
cig.
blabbermouth.
Fag's a different
You're
meaning in
looking very
America.
smart today.
Smoked a
This is
cig.
what I'm going to wear to our wedding.
Then she
Eddie, I'm
threatens.
sorry I didn't explain before,
What's his name?
but I've
Gareth.
had time to think
What's
about
it?
it, and I don't want to rush into anything.
She didn't break it up.
Not yet, anyway. I'll need time. So will you.
If you're having trouble hearing, Miss Bennett, I'll talk louder. If you want, I'll move in with you as a sort of trial run.
Oh, they
And
need
if
two.
it works out, well, then I'd love to marry you.
Yeah, but I still don't see what...
Please, Eddie, trust me. I have my reasons.
Whatever you want, Marilyn.
Hey, you can break them up now.
Gee, it's hot in here.
He could have been smuggling anything to her.
Say, Karen, you won't have to worry about Frankie anymore. I hear a rumour she's going straight. In more ways than one.
Hey, Doreen.
Yeah?
Come outside for a sec. Got something to show you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it in the back of her hand?
What'd you do there?
Chinese
Change
man?
my mind. I'm coming with you.
Oh, they're escaping.
Can I help you?
Mr. Bentley?
Oh, hardly. I'm the gardener.
Not Larry, by any chance?
Yes, how did you know?
Well,
I know you're a friend of Mrs. Bentley, right?
Is he going to say anything,
Sure.
though?
I'm afraid she won't be home all the afternoon.
Or is he going to protect his job?
New nursemaid doesn't seem to be doing a very good job.
She won't have one near the place, not after that last girl.
You mean the baby's by itself?
So what's new? The way she treats that kid showed up her head red.
Larry, I'm a friend of Lynn Warner's. I was wondering if I could ask you a few
Excuse me, I've
questions.
got work to do.
Yeah, protecting his job. But there's an innocent girl in bloody prison. Just speak up, Lanny. And I'm sure you can draw your
Now,
pension.
I want you to start eating again, young lady. I saw Larry today. He's still working for the Bentleys, and he wouldn't talk to me exactly. But I think there's a good enough reason for your case to be reopened. Now, I can't promise anything, and I don't want you to raise your hopes too high. But I can promise I will speak to the governor. All right?
Senior Sergeant Holborn, please. Hello, Jack. Erica Davidson here. Fine, thanks. Jack, do you remember the Lynn Warner case? That's the one.
Probably the talk of
Well,
the
I was
station
hoping
while it
next
was
time
going
you're
off.
out this way, you might drop in for a chat. Good. Well, one of my officers feels there are some doubts about the girl's guilt.
Yeah, but
And so do I.
How are they going to prove it, though, if he's not going to talk? But he can get... Ah, that looks disgusting.
That's good to see. Now remember, you've got to keep your strength up.
He can get done for withholding evidence.
Medicinal alcohol is missing again.
Again?
I'm sure they're going to know who did it.
Was it locked?
Yes.
God, some of these women are better than Houdini. You better get me a list of everyone we've seen during the last 2 days.
Lizzie, you've unbothered time, love. Well, she's not, but her drinking days are. Why don't they just make hooch? Did it in Wentworth. The show. That's Wentworth as well. God, that motion blur. Bloody hell. Motion blur? Motion blur. Blur.
Don't tell anyone they're there, Mum.
What are you up to?
Me and Lizzie are getting out.
Just going to take them. So I guess they're not going to cut through the fence because they're too rusty. So they're not getting out at all. The hopes are going to be dashed. I wonder what the hell Doreen did.
Someone to see you, Mum.
She doesn't seem
See
such
me?
a bad person.
Hello, Grandma.
My dear girl. Does your mother know you're here?
And she seems a bit
I'm old enough to
naive,
make up my own
so
mind.
maybe Maybe it's to do with...
This is a dreadful place. How can you stand it here?
I've got a lot of friends
drawn
here.
into it.
When I was little, I used to envy all the other kids because they had grandparents. And that meant being spoiled.
Pippi Longstocking.
With stories and presents and visits.
I wish your grandfather and I could have shared those moments.
My age
We
is
missed them
showing.
too.
What was he like?
Oh, he was about the finest man I've ever known.
Are we going to find
He
out?
was kind, gentle, never said a harsh word to anyone, and smart. He would have been proud of you, Judy.
What did he die of?
He was very ill, in great pain. I've got a picture of him, if you'd like it.
Why did you kill him? Mum told me.
We had 20 good years together. Most people are lucky to have one. When Jim found out he was going to die, he said he didn't mind, so long as it was quick. Not that he was a coward, but he didn't want me to watch him die, you see. But I did. I watched him suffer and waste away for 6 months.
Did he ask her to then, or...?
He's such a good man. He shouldn't have suffered. And he never complained. But some nights I'd wake up and he'd be crying with the pain. He'd tell me it was because he didn't want to leave me, but I knew that was only part of it. When he couldn't stand it any longer, he asked me to help him. I couldn't at first. I loved him too much. But I did. And I held him.
Could I come and see you again, Grandma?
So we got the explanation then. I can understand where she's coming from. I saw both my parents waste away through cancer. One in 2012 and one last year.
Lizzie?
Hey.
But it's time to go. Everything's organised. Wake up.
Gotta sleep. Gotta sleep.
Well, if the screws here, they're going to know who's took the surgical spinet. Don't put it in a hand. Discard the bottle.
Silly old bugger.
You could have at least covered that up. Well, she still didn't cover the whole bottle up. All they have to do is look through there. Mind you, if they look through there, they'll be asking why she's asleep. Or they'll be checking that she's not, you know, gone. And then they're going to see the bottle. They seem to like doing the end credits over the scene. I like that. I prefer that because it keeps people there watching while the scene's on. However, obviously not when just someone's lying down asleep. I mean, if you saw the screw come in and looking through the window, then it might break up the monotony of just watching someone sleep. But you know. I don't know if I put this on... Why does that still say this down there? Okay, we shall go and cut straight to the sign out. Okay, well that's it for another episode. We finally found out why Mum ended up in prison. It was euthanasia, as I thought it was when I found out that she killed her husband. Because Mum doesn't seem the kind of person who would just murder someone offhand. I mean, who does really? But she just didn't seem it. Lynn is now believed, thankfully. So it looks like the ball's rolling for her innocence to be proven. She's ultimately going to get out, so that's going to give her some hope. She's going to keep eating. Will she keep the baby? So yeah, a good episode. We've got some explanations. Lizzie and Doreen's going to try to escape. How the heck's that's going to work, I don't know. Will they be able to stay out for that long? Really? I'm enjoying this series. I don't know how many episodes it's going to run to as I make season 1. Thank you for watching on YouTube. If you did enjoy the video, can you please like, comment and subscribe? I would greatly appreciate that. Don't share though, because copyright. You don't want your channel striking. If you could leave down in the comments or in Patreon what I can do to improve, how I can move my channel forward. This is cut down on YouTube. It also goes live just slightly earlier on Patreon. Patreon I think gets it around midnight. YouTube gets it 6 PM later that day. So if you're enjoying it, please come back for the next video. On Patreon we've already got Murder Monday, which is crime shows, Terrifying Tuesday, horror shows, Funny Fridays, sitcoms, comedy shows, and then Soapy Sundays, or soaps or long-running serial dramas. These have not started going live as of recording this. I don't know what Monday's show is or Tuesday's show just yet, but Goodnight Sweethearts on Friday's show, actually that would have just ended, the first season would have just ended. So yeah, if you enjoy what I'm doing, once again please like, comment and subscribe. Have a look at the Patreon if that interests you in any way, if you want to get the full episodes, or the top tier is the early access where you get them as soon as the process, so you know what, you're not waiting for like the next week and then the next week and then the next week. So yeah, I shall sign out now and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.